In this video, we're going to be looking at some of the graphing features in the Desmos graphing calculator. First off, to get into our Desmos graphing calculator, we're going to need to locate the blue Desmos test mode icon and select it. Anytime we open this up, the first thing we're going to want to do is choose our assessment, and we'll scroll down to select the Texas star option. And again, in this video, we're going to be looking at the graphing calculator. So that's our third option. If we were taking the star test, we would select the start test option. But since we're just using this for some casual calculations, we're going to select the start practice icon. We're going to demonstrate some of the graphing features of the Desmos app in this iPad application. You have access to other videos that show you how to perform calculations on the left side of your screen, but let's look at what we can do on the right side. First, we're going to look at plotting a point. We can plot points on this large coordinate plane over here. Simply type in an ordered pair and be sure to use parentheses to separate the x and y coordinates with a comma. So let's say 1, 2. Once we have this point, if we want to add an additional point, we have several options. I can click the plus button and I can add an additional expression. I can also select the blue return icon, or I can just with my finger click below. And now I could enter an additional point. Let's say -2, 3. And I can see that point appear on my coordinate plane. To see the ordered pair, I can click the points and those ordered pairs will turn on until I click them again to turn them off. Or if you notice underneath the ordered pair, you see the word label with a checkbox. By selecting that option, I can see the ordered pair written on the screen, and I can also adjust its location relative to the point and its size. I can also orient it differently if I need to and make it vertical. So we have some options for labeling. Now, what if I didn't want to label it with the points? I could type in that line next to it, let's say red, and now I can call these points different names. Should be noted, once you've labeled a point, you can't go back and see or click it to see what its ordered pair is anymore. But these are some of the things that we can do with our points and ordered pairs on a coordinate plane. We can also adjust graph settings. If my point happens to be far off the screen, I can click and drag the graph screen to look at a different area of the coordinate plane. Or I can click these plus and minus buttons to zoom in or zoom out. If I want to get even more specific, by clicking the wrench at the top of the screen, I can adjust what my minimum x value is. Let's say we'll make it -20. And what my maximum x value is, let's say +20, to adjust my graph that way. I can also adjust the step. The step is what my graph is counting by. So I can say I want it to count by 1s, or maybe I want my x-axis to count by 10s. And now we notice the change there. If I say I wanted it to count by 20s, now I can see how often the graph is being labeled, every 20 units. What if we wanted to graph using a table? To insert a table, I'm going to select the plus icon and select the table option. Now I can enter a series of points. I can put 0, 0. I can put 1, 3. I can put 2, 6. And if you notice, all of my points are appearing as I enter them. Now things are getting a little crowded. What if I want to turn off those red and black points that I started with? If I click the color next to the point, those points will be turned off. But notice the labels stay behind. So if I really want them gone, I have to uncheck the labels as well. And now I can clearly see the green points that were graphed by my table. If I want to change the color of the points, I can select the setting wheel in the top right and then click the color to select different options. I can select blue, maybe purple. I could also make them open circles or X's, and I can even turn on the line feature to have a line connect my points. Then I can change it to dotted or dashed or dotted as well. So there's lots of different options. Finally, we can also graph equations on our graph. So if we wanted to see what that would look like, I'm going to select and click the purple color to turn off the points on my table. If I come in here and type in the equation 2x minus 1, you'll see that I get a line that comes and draws on my screen representing this expression. Again, I can use my finger to drag around, or I can use 2 fingers to pinch and zoom in or out on my graph. I can also change the settings on this equation. If I, again, press my setting wheel and then click the red option, I can change the color, or I can change the line style. Repeating this process on several different lines you could use to graph multiple expressions or multiple equations to make comparisons. Feel free to explore the Desmos Graphing Calculator and reach out to your teachers if you have any other questions. Remember, you can press the question mark in the top right corner to see more keyboard shortcuts, and when you're finished, select Done, and then you're ready to exit the app.